analytics, you can only be employed at India. You can be employed anywhere, be it India, US, Europe. Everyone needs that data analytics insights. And moreover, it is industry agnostic, whether you are keen on HR, operations, supply chain, marketing, finance, everywhere you would be requiring this particular thing. So this is what all business analytics is about. And our focus is not only just teach theory, but also involve you in the practical exercises, real world projects. You would be working with some of the real world case studies and real projects from the industry to learn more about this. So I think that's it from business analytics domain. Over to you, Virendra.
Uh, Sanjeev sir, thank you very much for all this enriching insight which you have shared. Sir, I always meet lot more students. They are visiting to the campus, and what I've seen a trend that really lot more students they really want to make their career into this domain, right?
True.
In these days, because of the job market clearance and which is actually they all are students are I mean looking around. I mean how big opportunities are actually in the market, right?
Correct.
But would you really help us to understand or our student that if someone is actually coming from a BTech or maybe some technical background, and then somebody is opting business analytics or data analytics as an option in MBA program or PGDA program, or let's say the other side, if someone is coming from a non-technical background, maybe BA, BCom, BBA, and BSc kind of thing, and then here he want to opt this specialization, right? So
Correct.
how you are going to suggest whether if someone is technical, what kind of advantage they're going to have in future, and if someone is not coming from that technical background, is something when we can suggest them that they should not take that as a specialization? What you will suggest? Please advise.
Sure. I think it's a very relevant question, Virendraji, and this question generally comes in most of the MBA students because MBA is open to both tech and non-tech background people. With tech, you definitely have one thing which you might have done is the programming or the coding. But as a business analyst, coding is something if you know that it might be helpful, but it is not required or it is not necessary. So unlike hardcore tech roles, which is data scientist or a data engineer, business analytics doesn't require that hardcore technical skills. So even for a non-tech background, there are two things which are very much required, whether you are tech or non-tech. One is the business acumen, and I believe any MBA students who are going to take admission should be possessing that, whether they are opting for business analytics or not, but they should have a business acumen. They should be having another skill of data interpretation. If there is a data and you are able to make sense of that data, these are the just two skills which are required for a business analytics professional. Even if you're coming from a non-tech background, you should be able to understand that what this data is saying. If the data says that month on month my sales is increasing, then I should be able to understand which product is selling most, and accordingly what is trend going on in the market, and accordingly I can stock that in my store. So these are the two skills which are required. And I believe even a non-tech student should be able to do that. And why you should choose that, or why anyone should choose that, in case you really enjoy solving business problems, definitely. You are having an analytical mindset. And when we say analytical mindset, that doesn't mean a tech background. Analytical mindset is you can analyze any situation objectively. So these are the two skills which is required. So having a tech degree might help you in exploring further into data science or the data engineer. But for business analytics, um, both tech as well as non-tech would stand at the same place.
So what we understood, sir, that from your side, uh, there is a green signal if somebody is coming from non-tech background, and they can actually dream and actually build their career into this business analytics side, right?
Definitely.
Right. So understood, sir. So I think most of the student is actually having this kind of query. So I hope that
Correct.
this actually help them. Now, sir, just give me more insight that how, because now in these days you see lot more campus colleges, they are actually offering with this business analytics, right?
True.
And since we are running MBA plus plus rather normal MBA, right?
Correct.
So how we are going to help our student to actually make really relevant for the market and as per the requirement. What is the our approach? Really, a student will want to understand, sir.
Sure. Nowadays, if you talk about any college, whether they are doing BBA, MBA, BTech, business analytics or data analytics is one of the core subjects which they are having. And what I have seen the difference between most of the colleges, they still rely on a curriculum which was designed 5 years back or 7 years back or 10 years back. And they just go line by line with that. I came across, I won't name the college that, but I came across one of a student from a very prominent college for an internship in my company. When I asked that, okay, in this business analytics subject, what you have done? He said no practical was being conducted ever in the entire semester and only theoretical. Manika, how can you do Excel on theory? There need to be a practical example, a real world use case or real world scenario on which you are going to work. You need to have a real data set on which you would be analyzing the trends and then actually predicting that. And that's what make a difference between us and other colleges. We take real world case studies. We assign those case studies. We ask the students to figure out the KPIs, KRAs, and actually prepare them from joining the industry and becoming productive from day one. When any company would absorb them, there should not be any lead time that, okay, I have to retrain this particular candidate for 6 months and only then it would be productive. We are focusing so that from day one, they should be just like plug and play. From day one, they join a company, go for a 3 days or 2 day induction program and ready to produce on the floor. So that's what the approach we are taking. We are covering so many practical examples, so many case studies, actually working on real life data sets from the industry which is available, and then doing capstone projects also. So all these things which we are doing, which makes us a little different from other normal colleges.
Done, sir. Done. 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 Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for all this
Thank you.
insight. Now, I'll move to Swan sir. Swan sir is also here. Uh, Nilesh, please help Swan sir to open up their camera because at the back end is, I think, there's some technical place. Swan sir, am I audible to you?
Can you hear me, Virendraji?
Hi, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay,
So,
finally, I think now I can.
so dear student, I'll take a moment only. I'll share the uh, about Swan sir working journey. So Swan sir is basically IIM Calcutta alumni, and he's actually I mean having more than 18 years of experience into the finance world, and he has been into the various head profile into various companies, and which is global companies now, and he's heading now also one of the big company in a global perspective for the finance domain. So sir is also a kind of sir has also been the part of ENY and a couple of more companies, right? So here we have Swan sir, who is from IIM Calcutta alumnus, plus he is heading one of the company into the finance domain. So guys, I mean, Swan sir is basically have taken all the responsibilities now to develop our student when it comes to finance. So, sir, what again I would say, business analytics. Sanjeev sir was, shared was sharing all the information.
Yeah.
Marketing, HR, finance. When we talk about MBA or PGDM. So it's a orthodox and contemporary way to see that student as a specialization, they want to keep at least one contemporary specialization, which is either marketing or finance or maybe operations or HR,
Correct.
right?
Right.
And finance market landscape is, rapidly changing now in these days, as we know that, right?
True.
Lot more new technicality and new trend is coming into the market, right? So if someone, any of the student is actually matching up the new age requirement, they are actually fitting up to the right roles, right? Whereas the other people, they are not able to fit into the right roles. So how you see, let's say, what are the major gaps, sir? When you see a successful MBA graduate who is actually opting good role into the finance, and a struggling MBA graduate who is actually, even after finishing up the program, they are not able to get the right job into the finance world. What is your observation, sir?
Uh, First of all, thank you for having me, Virendraji. It's an honor as well as pleasure being a part of Ethereal as well as the United group of companies. So it's a valid, in fact, concern these days, especially in the field of finance. I mean, people who are not able to successfully complete their CAs or CFAs or any certification, whatever they are doing it. MBA is the only program which actually comes to the rescue. And in fact, I am also an MBA graduate. I can tell you from my experience, especially what I have seen in the last couple of years, because the finance landscape has changed very dramatically, especially after the introduction of this fintech, AI. People, not even looking at what is the basics of the finance, you know. So the difference what you see today is, and especially most of the colleges and the people still, they are teaching to their students are still they are very much, stick to their basic courses, sticking to their domains. Domains when I mean what I mean is they are still focusing on the basics of the financials. They are making the student understand how to read the P&L balance sheet. What they are not teaching these days, which actually the companies are looking forward. I mean, for example, me. I mean, I head as a global finance head for a company named Akraya. And now I don't look somebody who's just have a qualification with the basic knowledge of just to prepare, the P&L or the balance sheet. Now, what we are looking in a candidate, somebody who can understand the technicality of these statements, somebody who can understand that how we can implement the new technological tool like Python, like NLP. I know these jargons are like, must be bouncing off from your head or for, from a student point of view. But these are very catching up, I would say the programs which is coming up in the market. And being a human, person, we need to possess that intelligence to understand these new technologies. Though it sounds like very technical, obviously finance people does not come from a technical background. It's more of a number-driven people. But apart from number, to stay relevant in this market, you got to at least have a basic understanding of how these technical tools works. Fintech, I mean, of course, you have been seeing, just the tap of the button on your mobile, and you are able to basically access or deliver or order anything, whatever you like, in terms of food, in terms of delivery, in terms of loan processing, how this is happening. So it is all happening because of the technological advancement. And these technological advancements are being introduced by machine learning, these NLPs, the Pythons of the world. So the basic knowledge always will help you stay ahead. Obviously, at a basic level, maybe you might find some challenges at the beginning because not every colleges are offering that kind of a program, or even if they're offering it, they're offering in the engineering side. They are not offering in the finance side. So the beauty what I see with CMAT or with United is, I think what we are focusing on how we can bring all these technologies, so that the student can get exposed to, and then once they are ready for the market, when they are ready for the placements, when the companies are coming to basically interview them, they should not find somebody who's like do not understand these terminologies, who does not understand even the basic of it. So having a technological knowledge definitely gonna add a lot of value to your entire finance domain. So that's the difference. If you really want to make it, if you want to bridge the gap, add some technicality, start learning about these small basic understandings. And AI, for example, you know, AI is kind of like overshadowing everything. So unless you understand how this AI works, how you can make a use of the AI is not like something out of world somebody has created. It is created by us only. So we are the people who gonna help you understand. This program in fact gonna help the student a lot understanding about how they can take the advantage of the AI, so that they can fill those gap and then make themselves ready for the future.
So, sir, I mean, students are actually what I have seen. If let's say somebody is actually have taken finance as a specialization, right? So they get two dimension for their career option. One is basically into the corporate side, and the other one is basically into the banking and banking allied positions, right?
Okay.
So what is your take on this? As an MBA graduate, what sort of profiles student can expect after having finance as a specialization?
So if you are, intend to get into the corporate finance, then these days there are a lot of profiles which are actually we have been looking for, especially from the MBA graduates. One is the financial planning and analysis. It is completely depend upon your domain knowledge, domain core knowledge. So as long as you understand your financial statements, balance sheet, cash flow, and then you are able to understand the data analytics, which one of my friends Sanjeev was talking about. So once you mix the analytics as well as the core domain knowledge of the finance, you should be able to take care of the FP&A part of it. And it's a very widely accepted, highly demand, highly paid, even a fresh graduate with 2 years of experience, they get 10 plus lakhs of compensation these days in the market, in the FP&A side. At the same time, apart from FP&A, we have the corporate finance roles. I mean, gone are those days where company used to hire only the junior resources for more like accountant and all. Now, from MBA graduates, they would expect more like analysis, analytical person who can come and then start contributing from day one. So that's one of the area I would suggest that from a corporate standpoint, people can target for. I mean, there are other profiles also which the students can actually aim for it. It could be towards your financial analyst, which is again part of the FP&A. Then data analyst side, more from the finance, not from the data analyst side, which our Sanjeev sir talked about it. Then we can talk about the corporate financial analysis. That is again looking at all your P&L balance sheet, helping your management more from a CFO standpoint, how you're going to help your CFO office. So that's one side of the corporate finance. For a banking and other industries, if somebody wants to make a career there, then they can look towards or they can enhance their knowledge towards the fintech side. How basically the wallet system works, how the regulation basically in place for the technology which is actually being implemented for these fintech companies. Then they can also expect some role, towards your APIs. So you have been seeing different tools, different softwares. So how basically these API connect to themselves, and it's not like a technical. It's actually very much part of the finance, and these are like very demanding role which is coming up. Seeing the change in the industry, these roles were never existing 5 years back, but because of the change in the landscape, because of all this machine learning, AI, and all these all roles have started coming up. So that's what I can suggest to the student that they can actually target so far as different industries are concerned.
So, sir, adding to this input, I think a student really want to understand one more thing. What we have seen, fintech opportunities are immense now in these days, right?
Yes.
Lot more new entities which are coming into the fintech domain, and also
Correct.
the established one also creating the a subsidiary under their branches that they want to be the part of the fintech space, right? So eventually that has become one of the promising sector to get the job if somebody is actually doing in the finance side any masters, MBA or PhD, right?
Right.
So what should be the roadmap? What you will suggest that, let's say, somebody want to make their career into the fintech side?
So your basic domain knowledge will not change. Whatever you have learned during your +2 or graduation, either you have done your BCom or ICom, that something will remain the same. That's something, I mean, that is the foundation basically you'll have to first focus on. And as I also mentioned before, on the top of that, you'll have to start adding a couple of technical skills in the sense either blockchain, machine learning, or Python, or NLP. People would be amazed. I mean, let me give you one example, very, very interesting example. Chat GPT. I think everyone now these days know about Chat GPT. You know, you just type a couple of things and then they start giving you all the results. Do you know the logic behind on what basically tool it works? It is basically the NLP. NLP is the natural language processing. And what they do is they basically pick out the keyword in the entire, you know, if you're typing, let's say, fintech. So they'll go to the internet, they'll search fintech word across all the articles, all the web pages, and they'll basically collate, concise in a very summarized fashion, and it will give you the result what you're looking for. And this is being done with the help of NLP. So one word in the English, and that giving you the result, which is very powerful. And who basically teaching you this? It is the finance which is basically going to teach you that. Of course, I mean, BTech also has that. Data analytics may also touch upon that. But finance is one which actually gonna help you understand how you're going to basically use this tool, what kind of, the module or the codes you will have to use so that it can be more useful from the finance perspective. So towards the fintech side, that's gonna help you a lot. So that is the roadmap. I would suggest that people should now start thinking about it. You know, adding these technical either the certifications or knowledge gonna help them a lot.
All right, sir. All right, sir. I think this is going to help not to us only, but to all our students also, right? And it was really very enriching and very deepful insight from, and look forward to actually help our student to go deeper and to make their dream job, to achieve the dream career into finance domain, right? So thanks a lot, sir. Now I'll move towards Sandeep sir. Sandeep sir is also here. I request Sandeep sir and Nilesh, please help Sandeep sir to enable their camera and the other thing. Hi sir, how are you? You have to unmute yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, we have Sandeep sir, and Sandeep sir is very close to us, and he is actually very technical guy. So, he is someone who have been one of the leading profile into the Microsoft. He has also been as a vice president to one of the leading company that is Indemnia, and also have been very close to technical part of journey. And he actually like uh, this startup ecosystem a lot. He is also one of the entrepreneurial mindset professional, and he's building something which is driven by technology and which is very useful. Eventually, will we all get to know in future what exactly that is going to be built up, and our student is also involved into that project. So they are also learning a lot from Sandeep sir on day in day out what exactly how the that any initiative can be converted into the successful project. So we have Sandeep sir. Sandeep sir is basically have taken all the responsibility to all our students to make them actually very resourceful when it comes to technology. Because now in these days, whether you're going to a startup, whether you are going to any of the good company, big company, MNC, global company, you need to have certain amount of technical understanding, right? That make you more smarter, more efficient, and maybe very competitive when we talk about in the real world scenario when you enter to any of the job. So Sandeep sir is one of the finest person into that domain we have, and he has that rich experience which is actually going to help to our student to make them very technical guy, and to and other than technology, he's also heading the operations department. So he helping our student to make the career into the operation side. Sandeep sir, I will request if you can give us some insight. Let's say now in these days everybody is talking about AI, and AI, right? We hear everywhere AI is there, right? But for a management graduate, let's say somebody is a MBA guy who is pursuing the MBA from our college or maybe some other college or maybe uh, PGDM maybe. So, what is your suggestion, sir? Like how someone can use effectively AI, how someone should approach towards the AI understanding, which is actually going to help in future when they are going to be the part of any company, sir, and how we are actually helping our student to make them enable to understand all these skills. Sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Virendraji, and good evening to everyone. I'm sorry, my throat is really bad. I'm not keeping well, and I'm traveling, so I'm sitting in a hotel room right now after a long day. So I'm not as well dressed as everybody else is at the call. So please pardon me for that. And being a operations guy and being a technical guy, I guess I am legally allowed to be less formal, right?
Absolutely, sir, absolutely.
So a lot has been spoken about AI already, but because let's say I look at the operations also, so I'll give an example how AI and operations can really go well, go together. Uh, for example, today, let's say there is a transport company which is sending a truck from Calcutta to Delhi, and it is supposed to carry couriers from different cities along the way, and also it is supposed to drop couriers in different cities along the way, so that mix its space can be used uh, in a maximum way. The capacity can be maximized, and to achieve that, if let's say somebody is doing it manually, it is almost impossible to do it. But when we now earlier, it's not that it's something new. Earlier, in the earlier days, people who were good with stats, mathematics, and people who were working with operation research kind of topics, they could do it. But still, it was humanly impossible to do something like this. But today, with the advent of technology, all of the data can be fed into the system, and the system can chalk out a complete route for a truck from Calcutta to Delhi, so that at every step its capacity is maximized. Now it sounds very simple, but it is not so simple because the technology really is very, very complex here. But if we look at it from the perspective of the company, uh, it is about optimizing their available resources. It is about maximizing their profits, and it is also ensuring that customers get their items in a faster way. Typically, in a manual system, many of you would have seen that, let's say, if some vehicle has to go from one place to A to B, they would wait for other customers to, let's say, come and fill it up, and only then it will reach its destination. For example, let's say yesterday one of my friend has left for USA, and he has booked his luggage, lots of luggage in a container because he'll be staying in US for some time. And the company has promised him that the luggage will be delivered in 3 months, for a simple reason, because this container will be filled. Once it is filled to the capacity, only then the container will be sent across the ocean. So these are the kind of problems that we deal with today. But going forward, with the help of operations, with the help of technology, with the help of AI, we'll see that these times that we talk about 3 months will be reduced dramatically. The cost of sending this luggage will be reduced dramatically. I've taken just one example, and there are tons and tons of examples. The same example can work for an airline company. The same example can work for operations of metros. That how the metro operations can be planned. That it is put to maximum use. So all of this is impossible to do it humanly. It is impossible to do it. Using just mathematics and statistics, but technology, especially AI, can help it. I can give you one very relevant example because we are students and faculty here in majority. Um, Designing the timetable of a really big university, it is next to impossible. It did, like I was watching a clip some time back where Ramanujan was helping his teachers design the timetable because the teachers were not able to design the timetable. Now, this is something which is 75-year-old thing, and it was for a school. But think like for a university like IIT, which is running multiple programs with multiple classes, and students uh, go across. The students have the capability, or let's say the choice, to pick up their own subjects, designing the timetable, ensuring that every class is fully utilized, the right classrooms are used for the right kind of subjects. The designing can, it can take for humans to the semester is 6 months long, but the humans can take up 1 month to design those kind of timetables. So that's where technology can help. So like usually when we talk about MBA like programs, we don't talk about operations much. We always talk about marketing, finance, HR. Those are the fancy ones. But we are the operations people. We ensure that a service or a product is ultimately delivered to the customer. So and not only delivered, it is delivered in a shorter time frame, and for the company we ensure that it is delivered in an optimized way so that the profits can be maximized. So that's what we do in operations. What can be done? For example, let's say only last 3 weeks we have done a workshop with our students where we have taken them through the process where we have shown them that how the present AI tools can be used to take a startup idea from concept to reality. Reality with that it can be put in front of somebody to, let's say, seek either approval of the idea or even seed funding. So those kind of workshops we are doing to ensure that people who are going to become managers, they know how to use this technology, how to put the things which are available. And we have used all the free tools. We did not use any paid tools or anything, but we tried everything, right from a single page website to a logo design, even to find the right name. Everything, right from the concept, from one line idea to a whole presentation, but it was done in a workshop. Now all the students are going to do it on their own, and they are going to present ultimately to the panel. But that's the idea, that we wanted to help the students learn that when they are going to become managers themselves, how they will use this technology to be more efficient, to be more productive, and how to add polish to their work. So that's all that is coming to my mind right now.
Thank you, Sandeep sir. Sandeep sir, I just forgot, and while you were discussing, I one thing, I mean, strike to my mind that I really want to share with the student that Sandeep sir has also been to the other side of the table. So he has been one of the person who have recruited more than 10,000 students from various colleges, right? So Sandeep sir, please help us to understand when you were actually going for different profiles to the different universities and colleges, what were your approach? How you were actually selecting a student for the various role? What was some common skill you see, or maybe some common traits you used to see, or whenever you are interacting to any student from any XYZ college?
So, first of all, a small correction. I've interviewed more than 10,000 people, but I have not recruited 10,000 people. I have recruited lesser number of people, but yes, I have
More or
personally,
less,
I have been.
more or less
I-
that is safe, because if you are actually interviewed, then you are the
yeah.
part of recruitment. Yes, yes.
So, if I have to say it in one line, I always hire will over skill. What I'm trying to say is that most of the time, there were two gentlemen who were talking before me, and they all emphasized the value of the skill. But when I go to recruit people, I think slightly differently. As much as skill is important, I always value will little bit above the skill. What I mean to say here is that if we have the skill and we don't have the intention to go and put it to use, it is useless. But if you have the will, if you think I can do it, I want to do it, and even if you do not have the complete skills, then somebody can train you. Somebody can make you capable of going to put your skills to use. So yeah, I always have preferred will over skill, and I always tell everybody that just go for what you want to do and show them that you are keen on doing it. That's the most important thing. The second thing, when I'm interviewing somebody, um, I try to see that does this person know what he knows, and does this person know what he doesn't know. So what I mean to say is that if he has written something on his resume, can he answer the things that he has written on his resume? I don't care what he has studied. I never care for what he has studied. I always ask what is written on the resume. Can you answer the questions about the things that you have written on your resume? If you cannot answer and talk about the things on your resume, I don't care what you have studied and where you have studied. The third thing, which is most important, is I prefer resume which typically, if you look at resume, people will have, my technical skills, my soft skills. I don't look at those skills. I typically look at the things, what kind of projects they have done. And when I say now, even for a fresher, I look at what this person was doing when he was studying. So was he doing some projects? When he was doing those projects, what were the soft skills he was putting to use? What were the technical skills he was putting to use? So and that's where we as Ethereal can make a difference in people's life, because our model is purely based on the practicals. We make people practice, not just going through the theory. We make them practice, and then maybe we tell them why this theory is applicable. And that's what is important. And it's not just me. Most of the people, when they go for interviewing people, and especially in the days of AI, um, I can tell you most of the algorithms that are written in AI to process a resume, those algorithms don't look at the skills that people have written in their resume. They look at the way that how those skills have been used. So it will always give the data that, okay, this person has used this skill for these many years, and this was the last time this person used this skill. It will categorize it to this form, and that is what it will be presented to the companies. So so maybe now it will make sense why I'm saying that I always look at the things what people have done in the projects may be academic projects. Those academic projects also tell us a lot about their technical and soft skills. So that's what I typically look in the resume. And the final last thing I look at, the thing is, do people have a serious interest outside the academic world? It is very, very important, especially people who are thinking to go in management. Management is not an easy job. It is a very stressful job, and you need a way to release your stress. And that stress is having some serious interest. It could be playing chess, playing cricket, playing badminton, trekking, traveling, whatever. But you need a way to release your stress. Otherwise, the chances are you will burn out even before you start. That, and you have been in that position, so you can appreciate what kind of stress it brings. Um, that I also look that people have some serious interest in their lives. It tells a lot about the person's character, and it's never too late to start. uh, you are not audible, Virendraji. You are mute.
Okay. So I guess this is going to help a lot to our student to actually burn that myth that everywhere they used to see AI, and lot more they are going to learn from you, sir, once they are the part of this batch. And I hope they are going to be able to understand how they can actually use effectively these AI tools and technology to make their work very efficient and very impactful wherever they are going in future. So thank you very much, Sandeep sir. I mean, interacting with you, hearing you out is what is always very learningful. So thank you very much once again, sir.
Pleasure is all mine. I'm still a student, so I'm learning every day from everyone, including you. So thank you.
So all technical
Thanks
guy,
for your kind words.
all technical guy have the same tendency. Yeah, thanks again, sir. So now we will move to Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am, I request you to please switch on your camera, or Nilesh will help. Please help. Nilesh is technical guy at the back end. He's working hard in this webinar. So guys, student, till the time Rashmi ma'am is coming, I'll take this moment to reiterate here that agenda is just to showcase or just to interact with you guys. To actually, when we say that we are one of the group which is actually at the back end the right set of people. When I'm saying the right set of people, that means the people who have actually built something their own, the people who have actually have seen the real world challenges. They are the part of this development process. Now we have Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. Great to have this platform there.
I'll take a moment to introduce Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am is a professional who is actually having many years of experience, and that too in various domains. Her expertise is basically whether it is marketing, HR, or maybe developing any student from very raw stage to a very exponential stage. So Rashmi ma'am is one of the person which where I met Rashmi ma'am. So she was telling that Virendra ji, see, we have to create a tailor-made, customized kind of approach, because in India every student is different, right? And Rashmi ma'am's approach is the same. So Rashmi ma'am is basically one of the, she has been also the part of Nirma Group. She has also been the part of MIT. She was also one of the senior trainer into Samsung kind of roles, right? So all in all, whether it is talk about one of the top India's business school, or maybe we can talk about the top corporate, Rashmi ma'am understand people very well and actually help student to understand and develop their skill set, especially when it comes to soft skill side, or maybe the other side, maybe marketing and HR side. So, ma'am, I request you to please help us to understand what is your process which you always follow to develop this student.
Sure, sir. I'll do my best. First of all, congratulations to Ethereal United. Now we stand united. So we synergize. Yeah, we multiply the parts like the multiplier effect of economics. Let me take the help of my previous speakers and weave a net accordingly. Sandeep ji, will, I'm changing languages. कौन कहता है भगवान आते नहीं, मीरा की तरह आप बुलाते नहीं. श्योर सर, विल हो अगर मीरा की तरह, और तो क्या भगवान भी चले आते हैं. वीरेंद्र जी, as head of our institute, creates entrepreneurship ventures, not just for himself, but enables each one present there, including Rashmi, to build up that euphoria. When you create something, as he said, dirtying your own hand, that is the best investment a student can make for his life. So that is the passion, that is the environment which Ethereal United has for each one of us. And this is a learning organization. We have learning people. I teach less, I learn more with my teaching. That's why I am on this privileged platform. Thank you, sir. Virenji, hand-holding is how he starts the first step. You don't even realize how you become an entrepreneur. Yes, he empowers you in a very subtle, silent manner, just the way a mother teaches a little one how to walk. Initially, she holds the hand, but gradually lets the child fall a little bit, no issues, let the knee get hurt, but distancing gradually, slowly, in a sustainable manner, thereby empowering the other person, you, my candidate, you, my student, to stand on your own feet and employ others with your entrepreneurship venture. Swanji, finance ke bina to kuch hota nahi. That's the lifeblood of any organization. He teaches you how to work, how to leverage this, not just for yourself, but for the organization in which you work, for the organizations in which you will step in later as senior managers and as CEOs probably. Managing finance, creating finance from thin air is Swarnji's forte. Sanjeev ji, unless and until you analyze the present situation of the environment in which business happens, the global scenario, it is analyzing the present, which helps you look into and see the gaps which may be existing, which with Virenji's creativity in your own venture, you will be getting the early bird advantage. You will create the innovation which the world will follow. I very humbly help the department. I don't know how, but yes, my passion probably, my shaha, as they say, creates a learning environment, God's grace, wherever I go. I think that is what I do. I will try to help you, each one of you, settle the best you can under the constraints of circumstances and resources into what your dream is. Very humbly, I come from an army background. I'm an army daughter-in-law, army wife. So with that instability of an army career throughout my life, in which in 1 year, my son changed 3 schools with 3 languages in that 1 year. One was Marathi in Pune, one was French in another country, and one was Hindi. People were totally lost as to karu mein kaise. But yes, working in such a dynamic environment with my own family, and today my son is an IIM, IIT, chose which IIM, chose which IIT, chooses which company, is an entrepreneur. So I know it practically. Probably that passion in me comes from Virenji's work. Thank you, sir. Otherwise, I'll go on and on. I can see the watch. Thank you.
So, ma'am, adding to your inputs, what is my experience so far, right? We used to get a lot more students. They are actually facing a lot more difficulty when it comes to communicating in a certain language, that is English, right? So, and that is one of the major gap which we are actually helping our student to bridge that, right? Now, can you help us to understand if, let's say, any student who's actually facing such kind of maybe drawback or maybe issue, right? How they can overcome and how can they can be actually proficient in that? They can have the command over the communication in a certain language. What should be the roadmap? What should be the process? What is your input into that now?
Sure, sir. We have been trying to do this at Ethereal. I've been with Ethereal since quite a few years now. And this is just a situation because Hindi is our spoken language at home or the regional language. But then you and me know we are living in a globalized environment and English is the window of the world. So herein we try and make it we try and make a lot of practice sessions actually, because speaking, if I'm to put it in one word, it is speaking any language which teaches you that language. So we try and create an environment within the campus wherein we don't make it compulsory because the idea is not to stress the person, but we do try to create that desire wherein people speak. Doesn't matter if we speak wrong. Just the way I told you, a mother teaches a child to walk. Doesn't matter the child falls. But then today you run a marathon, right? So gradually, by these sessions, by gentle feedback from the moderator, from the faculty, from peers, we try to do that, practice sessions, not just for English, but even in the other subject areas in which the student is attending the class as it is. So the effort of time is already being invested there by the student. We try to encourage the discussion in English. At the same time, in fact, in my own classes, I've been telling people about the Toastmasters and stuff like that, which or easy vocabulary sessions, or the TED Talks, etc., thereby widening the scope of learning, making it fun, because multi-channel is not just a lecture. Do it yourself, creating some new words, synonyms, etc. Basically, speak the language. Once in a while, write whatever has happened during the day. Start easy, start small, but you have to make it regular. So this is one of the best ways of doing it, sir. I mean, one has a lot of experience in this teaching English language, even to foreigners, even to our students. So I think practice and practice and practice, which you're doing so well at Ethereal, giving them the environment, making them speak, because ultimately English is the window of the world, of the working world. Thank you.
So I mean, thanks a lot, ma'am. So, student Rashmi ma'am, again, I'm repeating here. Rashmi ma'am is helping us in various domains for the development of the student. It's been many years we are associated, and now she's actually one of the all-rounder, I must say here, that whether it is marketing, HR, or maybe communication side development, because she has seen really very many years into the real world, right? So that experiential learning comes and actually playing very pivotal role when we talk about development of the any student, and that is helping us a lot.
It is the white hair. It is being a senior citizen. It is having exposure of teaching into various countries by various modes of online, offline, etc. That very humbly has given me the broad perspective, which enables me to individualize my humble techniques or my, effort. Nice of you
Not
to say
only
that.
adding to this, Rashmi ma'am become not only the expert or faculty, maybe they become one of the very close friend also of the student, right? So students are reaching to ma'am very frankly. I mean, they always love to interact with the ma'am, try to understand how they can actually go further and deeper to develop themselves. So, ma'am,
All the time, all the time. Since my children have settled, these are now my children, sir.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your time. And it was always very energyful because your energy is unmatchable even at this age.
God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Moving ahead, we have the last faculty. There, guys, there are few people. They are also one of the experts for different specialization and domain. They are not available today. But in upcoming webinar, they are going to also be the part of it, and then that opportunity will come when we can interact with those people also. The Shalini ma'am is also here. Shalini ma'am, I'll request you please switch on your camera, and Nilesh, please help at the back end. So,
good evening, sir.
good evening, ma'am. So Shalini ma'am is one of the Sutradhara, I would say, to our student, right? Because student को कोई भी problem होती है, वो Shalini ma'am के पास पहुंच जाते हैं. Shalini ma'am has become one of the one-stop solution for all the problem of the student. So, and Shalini ma'am is very close to and very kind of expert into the HR subject. She has experience of over a decade into the HR subject, and she always loves to develop student when somebody is actually looking for their career into the HR side. So, ma'am, quickly, I would request if you could share to our student, let's say someone really want to make their career into the HR side, what should be the roadmap?
First of all, thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity to me. And very warm welcome to all the students who have joined this session. If you're talking about the HR is always play an important and vital role if you're talking about the management. And we cannot be overseated this subject. This is the HR. This is why we say that HR is a crucial part of the management students, because it will help you out to increase or enhance your skill related to the communication, interpersonal skills, analytical and problem solving skill. So I and our entire faculty, even we all panel members working on this, that we can rectify and improvise your communication and interpersonal skill, which will help you out to achieve your future goal basically. So HR is just like a bridge which help you out to enter in the organization with full of energy and enthuse. So if you're talking about the HR, it's always help you out to the enhance your skill related to the strategic thinking, planning, emotional intelligence, and adaptability and flexibility in the organization. Fine. So student, I always train and explain this thing in my sessions, and help you out for this to cope up with the gap between the education field or in the industry. Because people are always be an asset for the organization. In HR, we only focused on the human resource. Human resource is all about our employees, people. It's like a HR practice drive the business successfully, basically.
Ma'am, adding to your this thing, what we have seen that there is a myth. If someone want to opt HR as a specialization, there is a gender biasness. Does it really?
I think students have already interacted with the Sandeep sir. He is also specialized in HR, so you can learn a lot from him. He's such a person. He always motivates you in a technical as well as the if you say in the HR also. So gender biasness is not there at all. We have seen the HR managers over lots of MNCs.
Right. Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time and all your input. I hope this is going to help us. So, guys, agenda was very clear that we really want to introduce and give some of our input, so that student, before making any decision to enrolling there up, they should understand if they are choosing United, they are choosing us, what kind of people are behind this ecosystem, and they can easily compare that. Here we are trying to make an ecosystem which is similar to India's top business school. And if someone is not able to reach IIM, XLRI, FMS, IMT, and many more India's top business schools, then we want to actually create a platform where student can come and join and can be into the hands who himself have achieved and done really remarkable success in their life, and they have also been from such places uh, which actually enable them to understand the real world challenges and practicality, right? And those experiential learning comes into the action, and eventually student get benefit. So we are ready here to actually shape up your career if you guys are ready, right? So by saying this, I would say thank you, Swan sir, thank you, Sanjeev sir, thank you, Sandeep sir, thank you, Shalini ma'am, thank you, Rashmi ma'am, for your I mean really valuable time, your input for this webinar. I hope students have got the gist and understanding what kind of people are here, to whom they are going to be interact, to learn day in day out, and to actually make their career and achieve their dream success in future out of this MBA and PG team journey. So guys, I would call it the end of this call it as the end of this session, and thank you all students to join this session now. Yeah, I request every participant to leave, and we are winding up. Thank you very much, guys.